Hello everybody, welcome back to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Tom and today we've got another Club World Cup Matchday 6 team reveal for you. I'm joined by Josh, who is our marketing manager, and you probably know him from the FPL Graduates. Josh, how are you doing? Back from holiday?
Yeah, good man. Seen Prague a little bit, come back, and somehow Chelsea's still in the Club World Cup. So yeah, looking forward to the last couple of rounds though. Should be a good ending.
Yeah, very much so. And you've been playing the fantasy game?
I was before I went on holiday, and then yeah, missed the deadline on my flight over there. So I'm a little bit behind, but I hopefully have sort of reconfigured my team to look semi decent going into this round. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, the good news is everybody gets 5 free transfers ahead of the deadline, which is 7 o'clock UK time on Tuesday. Yeah, that's Tuesday, so that's tomorrow, but it will be today when you're recording, when you're viewing this, sorry. So we will just chat a little bit briefly about the matches, the best captain, and then we'll go into Josh's team, and then we will briefly cover the max captainship at the end. So Josh, Chelsea, Fluminense, and PSG Real Madrid. You still back in PSG to go all the way?
Yeah, I think so. I think that PSG Real Madrid game will be an interesting one though, because I think, but in terms of play style, from what I've seen, both of them have been really good so far. I know obviously Real Madrid got off to a slow start, but since then they've sort of picked up. Trent's been getting involved more going forwards, which is nice. Chelsea Fluminense will be interesting. I think Fluminense defensively is sort of how they've got through this tournament. It's just so solid. Obviously, Thiago Silva's back there. It's usually a big help. But yeah, Chelsea equally as well. I think they have played decent so far this tournament. Obviously, goals come from anywhere with them, which is obviously a little bit harder fantasy-wise. But I think, yeah, it's going to be an interesting way how this tournament ends for sure. What's your thoughts? Do you think you're gonna make it to the final?
I hope so. I think we probably will. Fingers crossed. Fluminense, like their attack doesn't scare me too much, but
Yeah,
they're obviously strong at the back. And then Thiago Silva. I mean, I'm kind of worried he's going to score a header from a
little
corner.
bullet header.
Yeah, it would be quite fitting. But Caicedo's back, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have enough to get to the final. And then, yeah, I guess who knows? But it'll be weird. It'll be good to play a big team again after not being in the Champions League for 3 years anyway. But yeah,
Yeah,
we got to beat Fluminense first. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who starts and stuff with the lap suspended, and like what system we play. Colwell suspended as well, so there's a few
yeah, no,
questions.
yeah. It's good for FPL as well. I think, like in terms of seeing how you guys can line up. Because obviously the fixture run for the Premier League is probably the best out of everyone. So yeah, good insight as well. Seeing it so close and competitive to the start of the season as well.
Yeah, very much so. I think we've learnt a lot already. Like I think Neto is going to be right up there. He's been so good. Striker is still massively up in the air with Delap and Jackson and Pedro.
Yeah.
But Cucurella is still as attacking as ever, which is good stuff. And then what about Real Madrid PSG? Looks like a blockbuster tie. Mbappe hasn't started yet. Dembele hasn't started yet. Both could
Yeah.
come back in.
I think that'll be the case, saving them for the sort of the big rounds. The money on offer is just crazy. It can almost pay for like their transfer fees on its own. So I'd expect them both to come back in. Obviously, it gives a dilemma for a lot of managers because a lot of managers might have, maybe Gonzalo Garcia, for example. Will he start if Mbappe comes back in? I think on form alone he should do, but whether that happens or not, it'll be interesting. So, yeah, that game obviously more stand out in terms of the high-profile names, but I think equally both games could be interesting to watch. And obviously the final is going to be huge, whether that be whoever is involved. I think for me, PSG probably still the favourites just about, but I would not be shocked if they do get beat either by Madrid or, say, Chelsea in the final.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. So bring up your team. So you've made your transfers.
Yeah,
You've rescued your team a bit. How many
try to.
transfers have you made?
7 in total, so we're on a -6.
Yeah, that's nothing really. It's quite, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad considering the state of what it was. I had City players in there, I had I think Dortmund players in there as well. So yeah, obviously a few surprise exits have caused that. But yeah, I think overall it's been saved a little bit. Got some bench coverage, not too much, but yeah, we can sort of work with it.
Yeah, so in goal, you've just got the one keeper. That's the same as me. Every time I've had the chance to take out Edison, I haven't done it. So you got that triple PSG defense with Tosin and Trent. I'm guessing you bought Tosin in this round.
No, I
you
brought Tosin in when he got benched for Badiashile, and then so it's sort of come back round full circle since then.
Yeah, well, with Colwill suspended, him and Chalobah should start.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, hopefully he can get another goal, because I think I got lured in by that attack and return, and now I don't think he started since. So should be an interesting one. Yeah, I've got triple PSG defense. I think out of all the defenses, I think them and Chelsea are probably most likely to keep the clean sheet. I don't see a world where Real Madrid keep a clean sheet personally. I think PSG is too fluid going forwards for them at the minute. So yeah, hoping. Obviously, I've got Vinicius in there. You've got to sort of, I guess, at this stage of competition, just sort of, I guess, hedge your bets a little bit as well. Like, you could go all in, but then it's obviously more likely to backfire. So yeah, triple on them. Obviously, Hakimi and Mendes is just as attacking as they are defensive as well. So it's almost like having a midfielder rather than an attacker, rather than defender. Sorry.
Yeah, Hakimi's ridiculous. Like a clean sheet and assist against Bayern.
So many goals.
Yeah, 2 red cards against Bayern, and he still gets a clean sheet and an attacking return. Yeah, that is, the PSG defense is pretty formidable.
Yeah.
But then you've obviously Real Madrid. You've got Trent, Gonzalo, Garcia, Gula, not Pedro, and Vinicius. So you got 4 Real Madrid as well.
Yeah. Again, I think it's like I mentioned. I don't see them keeping a clean sheet. So I've just thought, if they're going to go through, it's probably going to be through their attack. They've got so many good attacking players right now. Trent's looking a lot more comfortable than he did at the beginning, that's for sure. In that team, obviously got a couple of assists now, I think, so far the tournament. Obviously, as I mentioned, Garcia's been unreal, scoring goals. They've just spawned him out of nowhere, which is handy for them. And then Vinicius, Gula. I'd say probably Arda Gula's probably been arguably, along with Garcia, their best attacking player of their tournament. It's just an embarrassment of riches for Madrid. Like, when you think Mbappe hasn't really played, Vinicius has been non-existent, and they're still churning out semi-final tournaments. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of Real Madrid, where do you see Mbappe coming in for?
I think the only logical option is Garcia, but it's just so unfair, like, on him. So I wouldn't be shocked if he is benched again, but I think
he'll be desperate to play against PSG.
Yeah, it's so much money up for grabs. Do you know what I mean? Like, can they just keep relying on Garcia, or will they, replace him? I think I could easily see maybe a Garcia 60 minutes, Mbappe on, or Mbappe on at half time. I just don't know if I see Gula necessarily dropping out, or I think he's been more influential in terms of like how they're playing rather than Garcia. Obviously, he's just been scoring goals, which is great, but I think
you
more...
back Mbappe to do the same.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think that's the most logical. Whether that happens or not, we have to obviously wait and see. Yeah,
no, it's fair enough. So in that game, who's the best captain shout in your opinion?
Madrid PSG. I'd probably have to put it on Hakimi. I just think like him defensively is, PSG are decent enough. I know obviously said Real Madrid probably going to have to score to win the tie, but it wouldn't put me against PSG keeping the clean sheet. Like you said, against Bayern Munich, they did it with 9 men. And then, you've got that goal threat from him, assist threat from him. I've captained Nuno Mendes every single time when Hakimi's been hauling. So probably the time I captain Hakimi will be the one where Nuno Mendes scores.
Yeah, probably. And then, so you got Kvaratskhelia and Doué, who have both done well this tournament. Doué finally scored in the last round.
Yeah.
Which is good from him. So moving on to Chelsea, you've got 3 Chelsea: Tosin, Neto, Fernandes. Oh, you got 4 João Pedro. He doesn't have a photo.
Yeah.
I think João Pedro could be good. Whether he starts or not, I don't know, but he'll definitely get half an hour. And that's his old club as well. He used to play for Fluminense.
Good knowledge.
Yeah,
love that.
But I seen a picture of him on Instagram today. I didn't actually know that.
He's cheated. Yeah. No, I think it'll be interesting. Again, it's good for FPL, like we mentioned at the start. Like, seeing where he positionally plays. I don't feel like he will play the 9 a lot for Chelsea. Just from seeing him at Brighton, when he did play the 9 at Brighton, he wasn't as prolific as what he was in that sort of 10. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he sort of has to play the 9 tomorrow night because you've got obviously suspensions and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I think he's a good option though. Obviously, probably no penalties. I don't know what your thoughts. You're probably best placed to say on that. I think Cole Palmer will keep those.
100% Palmer will keep penalties.
He's got good record, old João Pedro, though, so it should be an
Oh, well,
interesting
so
one.
is Palmer, to be fair.
Not when I captained him against Leicester, he didn't. Absolutely fuming. But yeah, Enzo Fernandez, I think for me, he's the one that I'm keeping an eye on for FPL. I think,
He's such a clutch player. Like, it wouldn't shock you if he
yeah,
scored the winner in this game.
exactly. He just pops up with returns, and that's something that Palmer, until last sort of match day, hadn't scored in a numerous amount of games, 20 plus from open play. So, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the cheaper options from Chelsea midfield: Enzo Fernandez, Pedro Neto. Obviously, Neto's done really well this tournament. Probably, I don't know if it's like sort of less pressure now that there's not as many wingers there. Obviously, no Sancho, Madueke potentially leaving could have a factor in it. So, yeah, interesting to see with him. And then obviously, yeah, toss in the troll. Hopefully he comes back and can get me an attack and return this time.
Yeah, I can't see a world where he doesn't start tomorrow. So
Yeah,
captain there is on Enzo in the video. Is that set?
it is at the minute, but I think I've got my max captain still to play. So we were talking about this just previous to recording. I think I'm likely to probably play it this round rather than the final, just because I feel like the upside of the chip could be higher in terms of a haul potential. Like, if Chelsea get a goal early, I can just see that being, a convincing win. So, and to be honest, I wouldn't have a clue who to captain from my Chelsea assets that I currently have. So, yeah, I'm going to play the max captain this week. So it sort of takes the pressure off as well in terms of having to make those decisions, and then sort of a one and done sort of route for the final, and I can sort of see who sort of fits that game.
Yeah, that's interesting because I was always going to save it for the final.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. Part of me thinks like, is it easier to predict the haul this week from a Chelsea? Like, if you had Palmer, would you just captain Palmer?
I personally would. I'd rather captain Enzo just because of how long he hasn't been scoring for. I think he's so instrumental to how Chelsea play Palmer, but he's not a fantasy instrumental asset at the minute. Since Maresca's come in after his first 10 game weeks anyway, like you can see the drop off in terms of fantasy returns. So, yeah, he's good, but I just don't know if he's like, 10 million and captainable good. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, he's on penalties as well, which is a key factor is to bear in mind. If you had him, I'd probably maybe consider maybe not using the max captain. It sort of makes your decision a lot easier. But yeah,
it's just that final, like picking who to captain in the final. I mean, to be fair, if it was Chelsea PSG, you would probably pick Hakimi.
Yeah, I think like no matter what final it is, I feel like the captaincy is going to be a lot easier than maybe this round.
Yeah, that's fair because I guess like you'd captain Mbappe or Hakimi against Chelsea.
Yeah, I just go whatever Real Madrid PSG option versus whoever they face, whether that be Fluminense or Chelsea. I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, so you've made your 7 transfers. Team looks pretty good, all set. Any players you wish you could look at? I like Chalobah because he's got scouting bonus and he's going to play.
Yeah, 100%. He's an interesting one. Obviously, Cole Palmer, we just mentioned, probably someone that I'd like to have that can't quite fit in. Outside of that, though, I feel fairly confident. Yeah, Vitinha. I picked him earlier on, I think, in the group stage rounds because obviously he is on penalties. But then I don't know if he was on the pitch or off the pitch when Lee took one or something like that in the group stages. So, yeah, it's a bit frustrating with him, but yeah, he's such a quality player. So maybe someone like him, but overall, to be honest, I'm fairly confident with it. I had Delap in, which is annoying because obviously I had that sort of Chelsea coverage already. So another -3 for that sort of dilemma. But other than that, I feel fairly happy. I think defensively, that's probably, barring maybe Chalobah for tossing, it's pretty much how I would pick it. Obviously, not with Stanisic sat on the bench over there.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. You're not tempted for a hit for Sanchez? You're not tempted to roll the dice?
No chance, mate. Not a chance in hell. I'll take Donnarumma. I think, clean sheet probably not too likely against Madrid, but probably save him for the final. I expect if PSG go through, they're going to be pretty good odds for a clean sheet, no matter if they face Chelsea or Fluminense.
Yeah, without a doubt. Cool. So let's just get your final. Let's get some score predictions to finish the video.
Here we go.
Chelsea Fluminense.
It's going to be game state's going to depend on the final result. I think, like I say, if there's an early goal, I think Chelsea will probably demolish them. To be honest, they just haven't really been pushed over too much in the tournament, though. So, If I'm honest, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Chelsea win, but the goal's going to come late, a little bit like a Conference League final.
Should get Sanchez then.
Maybe I should double up, but yeah, I'll go with that. I just don't see Fluminense scoring. Like you say, I think their attack is definitely worse than their defense.
Yeah, for sure. And then PSG Real Madrid.
I just hope there's goals. You know, when you watch a big game and it's just like, it's a stalemate. I just hope it's not like that. So, yeah, I'm going to go PSG 3-2 win. Just a little goal fest. Both teams just going for it. Hopefully, my triple PSG defense is not too great, but we'll come around that.
Cool, great stuff. Thank you very much, Josh. Remember, guys, there is content on the website, scout picks, differentials, and best captains, all on the website in the link in the description. Do drop a like, do subscribe. There's more. We'll be covering match day 7 as usual with a couple of team reveals as we head towards the weekend, and then we will be fully invested in the FPL content with the game set to come out very, very soon. So, Josh, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much, mate.
And thanks, guys. Have a great day. And remember, the deadline is 7 o'clock tonight.